Namaskaram, everybody. Wish you a happy Mahashivaratri. So today, as you know, this is one of the very important and auspicious day for us, specifically the people, those who are living in Northern Hemisphere, which includes India as well. In this culture, in the Indian culture, like throughout the year, at one time, there used to be 365 festivals in a year. In other words, it just needed to be an excuse to celebrate every day of the year some sort of festival. These 365 festivals were like ascribed to different reasons and for different purposes of life, I would say. They were to celebrate various historical events, like victorious moments. There could be certain situations in life, like you know like we are when we are planting first our first seed and then the harvesting, like so on and so forth. So every situation there was a festival to celebrate, but Mahashivaratri is one of the different significance because Mahashivaratri is the day is basically when which aspire us, all of us, to perceive something which is way bigger and significant than this life, and there is a possibility which we can go and we can explore. So why even Shivratri, and why there is a need of celebrating Shivratri, right? So the 14th day of every lunar month, which we follow the calendar in India, is is known as basically Shivratri. Among all the 12 Shivratris that occur in a calendar year, like each month we have one Shivratri, and this one which basically is happening in the month of this one which basically happens in the month of in lunar month is like Magha. So this is really significant, and in between English calendar, I would say, is in between February to March, which basically it happens on this night. The northern hemisphere of the planet is positioned in a such a way that there is a natural upsurge of energy in human being, or human being, when I say that, we talk about the human system. And due to this, so this is a day when the nature is basically pushing one towards one spiritual peak. So that means it is to make use of this, that in this tradition we establish a certain festival which is night long, to allow this basically natural upsurge of energies which is basically uprising in the human system, so that we can basically change some fundamental things on this night with the help of some various sadhanas and various practices throughout the night. So the essence of Shivratri is basically those who are living in a family situation, which most of us, we are living in a family situation, and it is also ambitious for the world because people who live in family situations, they observe Mahashivratri as Shiva's wedding anniversary, right? Those who are not living in the family situation, their worldly ambition is to see that this is the day when Shiva basically conquered all his enemies, enemies. That means its limitations, compulsion, everything. But those who are living an ascetic life, basically all the sadhus, sages, mystics, sants, yogis, they see this day to become one. That means with the Mount Kailash. So he became like a mountain, absolutely still. In the yogic tradition, Shiva is not worshipped as a god, but considered as the Adi Guru, or the first Guru, from whom the science of yoga originated. After many millennia in meditation, one day he became absolutely still, and that day is Mahashivratri for the people, those who are living in absolutely spiritual path, ascetic life. There for them, this is the significance. For the people, those who are in family situation, they take it in a different way, like Shiva's marriage anniversary. So all movement basically in him to stop that and become utterly still. And so ascetics see Mahashivratri as the night of stillness. But is there any spiritual significance of Mahashivratri? The short answer is yes, because legends apart, so why this day and the night held in such importance in yogic tradition? Because of the possibilities it basically represents to a spiritual seeker, meaning that modern science has gone through many phases and arrived at a point today where they are out to prove to you that everything that you know as life, everything that you know as matter of existence, Everything that you know as the cosmos, galaxies, is just one energy. From atom to cosmos is just, magnification of the energy, but at the fundamental level, the rudimentary thing is same. It's just one energy, which manifests itself in millions of different ways. And this scientific fact is an basically it's an experimental reality in every yogi, because the word yogi means when one who has realized the oneness of the existence. That means it is yoga when you come into union with the existence. That means the union of the cosmos, basically, right? So a human system is particularly aligning with the in a such a way with the nature. Basically, it is also known that the Shivaratri is basically the darkest night of the month usually, but Mahashivaratri is one of the darkest night in the year. Basically, any logic and mind will resist, the darkness, and naturally opt for light, which we do. Which you don't like to stay under dark, right? We need light, specifically in light. But the word Shiva literally means there is which is not. That means which is existence and creation, which means it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I mean, you have no limit, and our logical mind cannot put into in a box or limitation. That means it is in this vast emptiness everywhere. Few spots which we call galaxies are generally much noticed, but the vast emptiness that holds them does not come into everybody's notice, right? For example, the vastness of this unbound, emptiness, which is referred to as Shiva. Today, the modern science also proves that everything comes from nothing and goes back to nothing. This is essentially the bottom line they have. It is in this context that Shiva is a vast emptiness. That means nothingness is referred to as the great Lord or the Mahadeva. So every religion or every culture on this planet has always been taking about the omnipresent, all pervaded nature of the divine. I mean, they have the different ways and tradition to do this, but essentially, when we look at it all things they can be truly all pervading, and the only thing that can be everywhere is darkness, nothingness. That means emptiness. Generally when people are seeking well-being, we talk of the divine as a light, and when people are no longer seeking the well-being, then we are looking beyond their life in terms of dissolving into it. So if the object of their worship and the sadhana is basically dissolving into or dissolution, then we always refer that as a divine or the darkness. So light is basically believe in happening in our mind. Light is not eternal. It is always the limited possibility, because it happens and it ends. The greatest source of light that we know on this planet is the sun. Even the sun's light could stop with your hand, or even leave a shadow of darkness behind, but the darkness is all evolving everywhere, and the immature minds in the world have always described darkness as the devil, which is not. The religion in the world, they call it devil, which is not. But when you describe the divine as all pervading, you are obviously referring to the divine as darkness, because only darkness is all pervading. It is everywhere because it doesn't need any support from anything. Light always comes from a source, and then that is which is burning itself out, right? And it has beginning and it has an end. So it is always from some limited source, and then it after some time it gets over. But with the darkness has no source, and it is the source unto itself, and which means it is all pervading everywhere, omnipresent. That means when we say Shiva, this is vast emptiness of existence, and it is the lap of this vast emptiness, which is basically everywhere, like that all creation has happened, right? And there is the lap of emptiness referred as Shiva. In this culture, I would say all the ancient prayers were not about saying yourself, protecting yourself, or basically saving yourself from the harm, or doing better in life. All the ancient prayers have been, "Oh Lord, destroy me so that I can become like yourself." So, bottom line is when we say Shivratri, which is the darkest night of the month, and it is an opportunity for one to dissolve their limited identities, limited boundaries, which we have already built up in mind over the period of time or the way we have been grown up in the society, or the experiences we have in the life so far. So it's like becoming from unboundness of the source of creation to the, which basically is the seed in every human being we have. So why we should awake in the night of Mahashivaratri? This is the basic question people have. Mahashivaratri is an opportunity, we have to understand, and a possibility to bring yourself to the experience of this vast emptiness, which, like we have been talking, the emptiness where every human being, or like every source of creation, can align. So on one hand, Shiva is known as the destroyer. On the other hand, he is the most compassionate, the being. He is also known to be the greatest of the givers. The yogic law of life is like many stories. There are many stories. I'm not getting into though. Mahashivaratri is a special night for receiving too. I mean, to receive too. It is our basically opportunity that we can go and we can let this night not just to be a night of wakefulness, but this night to be a night of waking for you. That means you should wake us, and like if we sleep, as there is a huge the gravitational pull, and there is upsurge of energy in the system, and as we are living in the northern hemisphere, so it's going to be harmful for us if we are lying down on the bed, and then because our spinal cord or vertebrae, they will be parallel to the ground, which we don't want. We want it should be perpendicular, meaning that if you're staying awake throughout the night by doing different activities, if you feel like, okay, I'm feeling sleepy, then there could be different thing. You can go to YouTube and you can search Isha Foundation. They are organizing a huge night-long program from 6 p.m. today and to next morning 6 a.m. the whole night. You can join them. There will be music, dance. There will be powerful meditation practices, of course, designed, and Sadhguru will guide us throughout the night. So you can do that, which is like finding different ways to keep your system awake throughout the night, so that you can basically reap the maximum benefit out of this special night. And this is happening during this Mahakumbh, which is after 144 years is happening. And so when the next Mahashivaratri happens during this Mahakumbh, of course, you and me will not be here. So I think this is a really great opportunity, and we should take the advantage of this. So this night, try to be awake and take the maximum benefit of this night. If you want some resources to keep your system up, so I would say go to YouTube, search Isha Foundation, or you can search Mahashivaratri Sadhguru Mahashivaratri Isha Foundation. You will get the link 6 p.m. in the evening, and you can tune in and you'll enjoy the moment and you will get a lot of benefit out of it. Namaskaram. So I wish you once again a happy Mahashivaratri.